Alrighty, chat. This is what I was trying to show earlier, but I totally had a scuff streamer moment. There we go. Here's the schedule for those that just want a reminder or have not seen it yet. The second roll from the left-hand side is what day we're on. We're obviously on Friday. Happy Friday once again. Uso just wrapped up his set, and we got New/Tornado, who's just about to begin. And I'm going to remind you guys, too, that if you want to see any more additional info on this event, use the command !rules. It has everything laid out right there. You can also do !scores if you want to see all the players' individual scores and progression along the way. We're also going to have the little box on the bottom left of the screen so you guys can see the individual player who's currently up, their progression, their graph, and points, and all the details that you need to see there. But if you want to see even more further detail, it is an option through that command. Here's an enhanced version of it. Lovely GIF is what we're on currently. Mr. New/Tornado. After that, 3:20, we got KK Walker, and then we got Ryuichi at 6:30 to wrap up Friday. And we already did Greg, so we're going to skip this. And now we're on Joshua Ward. His age is 1,000+. His current skill title is Expert Level 3. For those that don't know, that's passing X amount of 24s on Phoenix. His location is Canada. Like I said, like today and the end of last night, it's like Canada, 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 and I think a fourth Canada in a row. Could be wrong. It's pretty crazy. Oh, Vegas is number 4 for today, but is the third for today Canada as well? It is. So we had Adam last night, and then it went into Greg, and then Josh, and then who's the third one today? Kevin. So that's 4 Canadians in a row. Got to get some Canadian flags in the chat. Seriously. Started playing, though, April of 2019. His top 3 pump charts in Phoenix is Loxia D22, Simon Says D22, and Tricklash 220 D23. His top 3 pump songs is Cutie Song, With My Lover, and An Interesting View. What the fuck? That's a very unique list of songs there. Proudest pump achievements is either Get Up D23 UG or Shake It Up D21 Clear. What's Shake It Up? Is that old?
You should really look it up.
Is it from an older version?
It's not a 21. It's like a 28.
I've never heard of it.
21 UCS if it was made by.
Huh.
Some, yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check it out sometime. All right. And without further ado, we've got Josh here on camera, ready to go. We're good on our end. We're going to count him down in just a second.
All right, guys, we are all set up. We're gonna count them down. Starting in 3, 2, 1, pump. A little late, but that's okay.
New series. Level 23.
Okay. Mine's mic 2, right? Okay, so he's starting with Little Munchkin.
The
23.
yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah, so he favors runs a lot, so you'll probably see a lot of charts like this. He would definitely call this a warm-up.
So, just so y'all chat are aware, we got me, Blake, Tenchi, whoever you want to call it, on the mic as well. And to my right, we have Adam, SD1212, the Canadian legend that played his final set last night. Currently first place winner.
Well, first place for now, but I don't think I will be by the end of the day.
We don't include Happy Feets. That dude doesn't.
Even by the end of the day.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I think Kevin will take over, but it'll also depend on how Josh's set goes.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of really good players in this event, so it's hard to say who will take first or second or third. So it's a wild card.
Yes, gosh, Gary, you're right. An interesting view. Someone made a UCS for it, where you only had to hit like one note at the beginning, because it's the shortest arcade song that was UCSable back in Double X.
All right. Triple S.
Just a casual triple S to start.
Next stage.
Oh, you mean the baby powder? Yeah. What's up? I didn't know what the. Okay. You try it. You try it.
Where can you get Josh's shirt? Hey, Tony, where can people get the shirt?
All right. Cranky 23. I imagine Josh is a machine as far as I'm concerned. Do you think he's going to be playing anything really below 23s? Probably not, right?
Yeah, only if he starts like cramping and really needing a break. I imagine he'll stay at 23 and above. We'll probably see a lot more run-heavy charts from him than maybe we've seen from other competitors.
Do you think he's going to be trying Indy 26s?
So I've seen his list, and he will probably try Dement, Kokugen, and Shub, D26.
Dement and Shub. That's two pretty wild differences.
Yeah, we haven't seen Dement D26 yet this event. And for good reason, honestly.
That chart is so hard. It just does not stop. Unlike this chart, which gives you a nice hold break before it starts throwing in these weird twist runs.
Yeah, I imagine that he's using this still to just get warmed up to the pads. Get a feel for the pads and the distance between the pads and the cab. Just a slightly different environment.
Damn. All right. Oh. That was a really good combo to that second backswing or crossover drill. I don't know what you want to call it. Even still, going into this final run, pretty much nailing all of it. Even the jacks. Very solid score.
Excellent.
982,449.
Next stage.
All right.
So chat, if you watch his feet, you'll notice that he plays on his toes quite a bit. And that could come into play as we get further into this 3-hour set. Going with Big Daddy. Stepped by the Big Daddy himself, the Fems. Just like I used to, Calvin. Yeah, you're right. Then I learned. So this has a few short runs to start, but really we're in the long break now.
Yeah, so we'll be back with the actual run in about a minute. Smile.
I shall make the earth my home, and I shall never, never leave it. Okay, boys, what's the beat?
So for those who aren't aware, apparently the Korean word for pepper is also slang for dick. And that's why it makes an appearance here. All right. And now we finish with the actual 23 part of the chart. But runs are definitely his strength, so this will be no problem for him.
Nice. Pretty that should be a triple S. Oh, maybe not. Maybe double S. Yeah.
Ooh.
You did a really great job.
I didn't realize how many grades he got during that.
Next stage.
Yeah, run it back.
Level 24.
Yeah, you might need
So we got the crowd behind us. I know you guys can't see in the chat, but they're just like yelling at him to play whatever. So I think UCS's is or sorry, not song requests are enabled for the crowd here.
So right into Paved Garden, D24, which is what Greg finished on. Yeah.
Yeah. Carrying on the legacy.
So 187 BPM. Again, he would think of this as a warm-up. This has a lot more bracket technique in it, so that's probably what he's using to gauge how his brackets are doing.
Coming up on the drill before he gets a little break. I think that was two bats. Could have been one miss. Oh, that's definitely missed there, but that's okay. These little hold sections are kind of tricky if you don't know how to hit them properly. It's very visually deceiving. Let's go into the final run.
Into the finale, just hopping around.
Just hops.
Really just going for the stage clear. He scored well in the first half, so.
I would imagine it's a triple A if I had to take a gander. Yeah, triple A plus.
That's the way to go.
Nicely done.
He's already almost caught up to Driffy.
Next stage.
And if it's that, then you're on.
I just need to press. I don't need to.
Origami 24. I don't even need to look. I know how much he said this chart's a cakewalk for him. So I'm
Yeah.
anticipating at least an S.
He will also find this easy. That's why it's showing up in the first set. So this is really just a lot of drilling technique. Again, at about 192 BPM. So still just warming up the legs. A lot of inner six patterns, so there isn't a whole lot of movement.
Only one miss during that. That's really good. I think did someone play the origami at all yet? Or is he the first? This is honestly like one of my more favorite side charts. XI. I don't know however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, like it actually fits with the music quite well, I would say. Some of those inner six patterns can be really tricky if you get lost, but he has no issue with it.
Doing those 220 runs with the twists, and even though it's inner six, it's kind of rough. Just how fast it is. It's not 220.
And now we deviate
final
from the inner
stair.
six, ending with a full stare, and then the funny little gallop.
Nice. Made that chart look so easy. Wow, he barely met my requirements, so we're good.
Est it. No problem.
Already at 12,375. That's a good warm up.
All right. What's he going to take on now?
Difficulty zone dub level 16. Level 24.
Okay, and moving on to Full Moon D24. Again, another run chart. 190 BPM, so he's still probably warming up the legs.
This is arguably a very. This is no, it's not arguably. This is an entry 24 for a lot of people. This was like one of my first 24s, and most of it's the whole first half. Even though there's like a run, it's not necessarily hard. I know some people argue that this intro is the hardest part of it.
Yeah, these bracket tech sections are a little tricky. And the runs in this first chorus are pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you're just chilling in the inner six. The turns aren't really egregious. It's pretty friendly patterns for the most part at this BPM. The hardest part is this. That little anchor with the stretch makes it a little uncomfortable, but even after you do all that, you get a nice, huge break.
Yeah, and big hold combo to build that life bar back up. So that anchor pattern is really a sneak preview for what you'll face in the ending run. Once you get through the fun little spins, of course, if you choose to spin them. Yeah, point deduction. I'm afraid. No style points here. So the last run now, once again, steps away from the inner six and makes you hit those outer arrows too. Wow, gets through the Banyas and the stairs.
Dude, you made that stair look so clean. Very good. That
I knew you could do
triple
it.
A gets him 2,400 points.
Next stage.
No problem for him. All right, where is he going next? Scrolls over to Hercules D24. If I'm not mistaken, he's only played this a couple of times and already got a triple S on it. So, very comfortable chart for him.
I would hope so. The whole first half, there's like not a whole bunch of stuff that goes on with it. It's just the second half is like it's a pretty decent run, which obviously is his strong suit. So I imagine this would be one that he's super, super comfortable with, even though he's played it only a couple of times.
Yeah, it's a run into some pretty tricky bracket run stuff. But the entire first half is like no more difficult than anything he's played already, so. Just hitting what he can for score. All right. Coming into some of the longer runs in this chart. All relatively straightforward.
All right, this is where it gets like actually really hard.
Just one more bracket part to get through.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Damn.
Kevin on the side saying, see, it's not that
I knew you
easy.
could do it.
The point value for Hercules D24 was originally a lot lower, comparable to Slam D24. And then some of us made the argument that maybe it should be bumped up a little bit. And I think that ending is why. Good attempt, though.
Yeah, I think we bumped it up like 300-ish or so. 'Cause it was around 1,000 for the base, but now it's, what is it now? Pulling it up. Oh yeah, we bumped it up like another 250.
Yeah.
So now it's at least semi worth it. The ending is rough.
Yeah, like a lot of that chart kind of reminds me of Distressimate
Yeah, well,
in that it's like 190-ish straightforward run and then one or two like tricky parts.
yeah, he's a beginner. You two could be like this within, I don't know, give it like a month. Honestly, with how Josh, like how fast he went up, that statement isn't too far off from the truth from this guy. Me and Josh started around the same time, and I feel like Josh has been at the 25 wall like for a good while, and I'm still not even close to that. His progression from start to where he is now is been pretty wild, though.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Josh is 1,000+ years old, so he's only been playing Pump for 5 of those years. That's just a drop in the bucket. And he's moved on to Phalanx D24 right now, so this is definitely a break for him. Given how low the BPM is compared to all of the stuff that he's already played.
He really is the oldest player. I don't know how you're 1,000 years old and can move like this. I respect it. Or sorry, excuse me, 1,000 plus. He's 1,000 plus. That was what he submitted his age at. So. But yeah, he's in daylight, middle of the afternoon. Maybe he's a twilight vampire. He sparkles in the sunlight. Going into still full life, hit most of it. Dropping a lot of combo here though, but he definitely he's gonna have to hit pretty much all of this to go into the ending. Because this ending is pretty mean unless he's comfortable with it. Nice, gets that clear. Good recovery.
Wow, fantastic.
It's an S as well.
Next stage.
You got no goods and only one bad during that run. That's actually really impressive. There's so many areas with like the foot technique and the placement that you have to have for some of those patterns are really hard, that like the fact that he only got just pretty much raw misses is shows how well and disciplined that he is with his form.
All right. Scrolling through the folder, shopping for his next choice. Stops on Kaso Shinja. Yeah, okay. So this was a 23 in double X, and Josh actually still thinks it's a 23. I think he said it's like, it just has a few twists. It's not that bad. So watch closely, chat. Watch and learn.
I'm gonna laugh at him if he fails this with how easy he says it is. Thankfully, though, the whole song's not awful to play. The intro is fine. And the first run, truthfully, isn't the worst. But the problem is that even when after you do this run, it doesn't really stop. And it gives you another pretty mean run right after it. Yeah, so going into it, that's the end of the first run. We're here. It feels like it should only want to give you a break, but it just keeps going. And it's even meaner than the first one with these turns.
Yeah,
but
and
he's killing it. He executed pretty much all of that.
that movement is so aggressive, but he just does it. And this is about the only break you get.
Yeah, the one breath where they're breathing in the background, that's literally me.
All those steps into jumps. And final break into the outro.
Thankfully, the rest of it is pretty easy in comparison to what you just went through.
Yeah, the trouble is that you're usually so gassed by this point but makes it through.
23 for Josh.
Yeah, 23 by the way.
I knew you could do it.
So just for him, we will give it a point value that's more comparable to a 23.
Rom, I believe we published the VODs from yesterday. If we did not, I'll talk to Seth about it. He said we are aware though about the VODs. We are going to publish them. We just have it not published in term for copyright reasons as of now, so that way we could save the VODs and stuff on our end.
Level 24. Difficulty zone double. Level 15. Level 24.
Yeah, I see both VODs there. And then day 2 will be published once the entire day is over. Okay, going into your mind, D23. Probably like a more of a breather for him. Heavy on the bracket tech though.
Definitely more of a breather compared to Kasho,
Used to be the same difficulty as Paso.
which is insane. How do you feel about the Phoenix ratings? Like, I know there's some pretty big outliers like Slam, but
Yeah.
overall, like, do you feel like it was good?
Like I feel like a lot of the older charts that were re-rated, they did some things correctly, but things like Slam are just weird.
Yeah.
But then all of the new stuff that they released right away, like right when the mix came out, was like under-leveled for what it should be. And I'm thinking stuff like Versailles S20 should probably be a 21, things like that. And then as we get more and more updates, we're seeing all of these like super easy charts for their levels. And I feel like it's typical Andamiro. They like set a baseline when they release the mix and then totally forget what that baseline is for every subsequent update.
I think I want to believe too, they're probably doing the ratings that they are doing because of the way the new title system is, and so they want to give kind of semi freebies. And since they changed a lot of stuff, they want to have like entry level 20 or entry level whatevers.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. It's really
Yeah,
Up for
and I guess
debate.
they did theoretically do a lot of the rating with the new scoring system in mind. But I don't think they realize just how hard it is to score certain charts. Like the Devil D20 has only one triple S plus right now. And Will-O-the-Wisp D20 is so much harder to score than the D21.
oh my god, that chart is ridiculous. But Josh closed out your mind. Had a little bit of a scare, but not too big of an issue.
You can do it.
Just a minor scare. No shit in those pants.
Game over.
I like the reading re-rates, because I know when I was like lamping through some of the folders, all the ones that I had complaints where I was like, this is ridiculous, they bumped them up, or the ones that were like really, really easy, they bumped them down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so they made a lot of good changes there,
New
for sure.
difficulty zone
I think
level
I feel like all the changes that were good were up to 22, and then 23 and up is where it kind of gets somewhat questionable.
Yeah. A lot of the 23s that they bumped up to 24s, like HTTP and Slam and Love is a Danger Zone Part 2, it's like, Andamiro, what are you doing?
Level 24.
While at the same time bumping down Distressimate. Like, sure, that's okay, but if you're bumping up stuff that's objectively easier, why are you bumping that one down?
Going to Aurelia.
Okay.
I think it's the first time someone played this during this
Yep.
Avalanche.
Another run heavy chart.
This is yeah, because the lowest level for this event is the 24, huh?
Yeah, because it also has a D19,
That
which
19's
could
hard.
arguably be a 20, but it's not, so we don't even care.
Yeah. Game doesn't say it is, unfortunately, so. But we're going to the 24, which this is. I don't know how people pursue this chart. I want to say people kind of think this is hard, but this is definitely a just skill check in the terms like, are you good with runs? Is your form comfortable enough to be conserving as much as you can during it?
Yeah, like, I think you either think that this is the freest 24 ever, or it's impossible, just because of how much run there is at the end. It's fairly straightforward, but if runs are not your strong suit, then it can feel like quite a challenge.
To me, it feels like what it Dement 24 wants to be.
Yeah, exactly. And like it gives sort of reminds you of Cross Soul too, where the first half is easy and then suddenly you have run till the end of time. Okay, so he's made it through the easy stuff. Time for the runs. His bread and butter.
Thankfully, though, like the first part of it isn't too bad, where you just kind of hang out in the center six, and then they'll start like poking in, like, "Hey, you're chilling on the left. Now it's the right," and it keeps ramping up more and more as it keeps going on.
Yeah, I'd say quite a well-designed chart for the song.
Yeah, and then this end gets just mean.
And now you have the slight twists, the little M run. And then thankfully a nice outro where you can catch your breath.
Dude, when I play that outro, I'm just like, I just want it to be done. I don't want to do any of it. 10 minutes, 0 bad. Very, very clean run.
Strong score for
That gets
him.
him 4K, or sorry, 4.6K.
Stage.
Very worth. I think that's his highest points. Yeah, that's his
Highest,
highest points so far in the set.
Yeah, so the D26 is similar, but the runs are all much harder and have way more brackets in them.
Resented, thank you for subbing. Appreciate it.
Okay, what's next?
Where'd this
After-
boy going?
After runs like that, where do you go?
Good tech.
Good tech. We'll probably see that from him, actually.
Not right now, though.
Level 24.
Oh, we're going to 25. Okay.
Into the 25 folder, what?
Avalanche? I can see that. I can see Yogg. Yeah.
Into
Okay.
Yogg. Okay. The first half will basically be a break for him, but let's see how he does the ending. So the ending was actually changed from Double X to Phoenix. There used to be these big, like, 30 combo quad brackets about halfway through the ending run, and they nerfed those brackets. So on one hand, if you miss them, you're not immediately dead, but on the other hand, if you hit them, you're not building up your life bar. So it makes it a lot harder to do.
It's a trade-off for sure. Just as a reminder, as we're getting through this first half, Josh, what the fuck, bro? You do all this shit and then you fail this part? Okay.
Well, He must think that this is an easy 875 to go for.
I'm gonna go get the fucking clown wig for this dude because after that shit.
All this clowning around. All right, one more bracket part, and then we get into the finale, the long finale.
I will never understand why that note, those two notes exist. It's so
Yeah.
weird. And I really thought they were gonna get rid of it.
They don't need to exist, but they do. So those were previously the big quad hole bracket ones. But these twists are so aggressive if you're twisting them. Oh, he's just standing man. Don't know. Don't think that'll be 875.
No, definitely not.
Still put in some good effort though.
Next stage.
All right, so we're almost 38 minutes into the set. We've now seen his first 25 attempt. Now he's taking a little bit to breathe. So I think the warm-up is about done, and now it's just about managing your ability to keep standing. Now scrolling through the 23 folder, so what are we gonna see?
Going out a
Stopping on
gargoyle.
Wow, okay. Yeah, why not just run for the entire song? But 150 BPM, so how bad could it be?
I mean, compared to Yogg, it's a lot
50
easier.
BPM slower?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a walk in the park.
His problem with Yogg that he was saying was that he was sticking too much, so I think this is a good chart for him with how slow it is in comparison to Yogg to like test out his the friction that he has on the pads and stuff right now, while still being like kind of warm, going back into the hardest stuff, which I'm assuming is what's going to happen after he does this.
Yeah, like he might do this into something like Conflict D25.
Could definitely see it.
I could see that happening.
I would like at some point for him to play Caprice.
You know, he probably will.
I hope so. As a fun fact, his first few 25s are like the most outlandish clears I've ever heard anybody get. I think it starts like the first one's like relatively normal, but then it goes into like, oh yeah, he passed like Paradox and Caprice, and
I think Paradox was his first one.
that's
And that's
so
just like,
wild.
what the fuck?
If you clear with if you get anything below 875, it does not count.
And that's really to safeguard against like straight up mashing the entire chart, no matter how good your mashing is. We want to see effort. We want to see you suffer. All right, coming up on the final stair.
Very good.
No problem.
You did it!
No Koreans allowed in Avalanche.
That's not true at all.
Not true. They just haven't qualified. And Dan, you could be one of them.
Level 23. Level 22.
Josh is going to take his 5, so we'll be going back with this set at 46-30.
Ah, yes, we love Twink Femboy Circular Toonie. Okay, looks like you're getting some entertainment during his break.
We get the cell intermission.
Ready, pump it up.
Oh,
Hello, everyone. New tunes.
what kind of nonsense are we gonna get?
I got to see Cell play Harangue D24 site rated last night. That was pretty entertaining. He passed it.
Was it first song?
Yeah.
Oh God.
He did it cold. He got AAA.
Playing that cold? Ugh, I could never. Wow, he's violating all of the Avalanche rules. Single end 19.
Ew. Is this the random no skin?
Yeah,
What is this?
yeah, it is.
How do you feel about Queen Card 20? That chart is ridiculous.
The D20 or the
The
S20?
S20.
I've only played it once, but like it has some really weird things going on. Like just when you think that they've run out of pattern ideas, they throw something else at you. But really, that's the great thing about Pump. You can always do all these fun new patterns. Some of them work, and some of them should stay in UCSs. Oh, right, this. And his shoe is untied.
His shoe is also untied that whole time.
Yeah.
You did it!
Well, that is certainly one form style that you could adopt in this game.
Next stage.
All right, so in about 20 seconds ish, Josh will be back up and going. How's the pads feeling, buddy? Better? I have to see once you move. You have to see once we move. But you're up in 5 seconds. So he took his break mainly to adjust his socks more than to actually take a break. I mean, he's going to use that with that, but he's been sticking really hard in the pads, and so maybe it was the socks that he's trying to figure out what works for him.
Yeah, he's been using baby powder, I think, more than anyone else so far. So hopefully he can get a good pad texture. Okay.
New team, typical zone level 17.
Yeah, 5 minutes to change socks. But hey, if you're going to take the
Level
break,
24.
might as well use it.
Level
Unless you
25.
really don't need it. He's turning to the audience for requests.
Level 26, over.
Goes into the 26 folder. Comes back from a break. Goes right into Kokugen. All right, so going with Kokugen D26. The first half, you can really just focus on scoring. If you don't think you're going to pass, but you think you can still get the 875, then scoring the first half is the way to go. Just a few basic runs, really, until you get to the long and difficult ending runs. And they did also change this chart from Double X to Phoenix. They made it a lot harder.
I walked away for fucking 2 seconds, and this dude's playing 26. What the fuck?
All right, here we go. So this run's the same. And then right about here is where they changed it because they added that long stair. And this is all new. This used to be triplets, and now it's just a straight up run. And he's just vibrating and moving. But
That is definitely going to at least get points.
yeah. What a great way to come back from a break.
So 3, 5, 7, 9. All right.
Next stage.
That's what a 5-minute break does to you. Changes a man. I guess. All right, what's next? Ultimatum? Nothing.
Level 20, level 25. Level 25.
All right, JT. You're getting your wish.
How many
I think
A man trapped in a web of fear has nowhere to run and no one to trust.
okay, so this is a very, very tech-heavy chart for an absolute slapper of a song. Yeah, it's only 220 BPM. It's in the song title.
It's so generous for them to put that in there.
So still a lot of like hold and bracket technique.
So fun fact, he has not played this 25, so this is a sight read for him. Which is going to be really interesting at the final run.
Yeah, very
'Cause I feel like
interesting.
you really need to know where the hell you're going with how fast it is.
But the D23 is one of his favorite charts. So
I love that chart. It's so good.
that part's really tricky with all those blue holds, especially if you don't hold them long enough.
This is really bad though with this life. He's got to hit like everything though. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now we get the bracket runs. Good attempt. It almost looked like he was tightening up. Ooh,
Nice.
yeah. Don't want
At
to
least he
drop
got
that
that
last
last
hole.
hole. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, before he started that, he turned over and it was like 875 question mark. So I don't think he was expecting to pass it. But good attempt, nevertheless.
The first half of that is so easy to just score on because there's not a whole lot that's going on. It's just the real kicker with that is, are you gonna be able to pass it? And that just really comes down to the end. Willow. We threw like 4 charts this way of, hey, like what 25 should we play? And he said, fuck you to all of us. So he said, I'm gonna play Willow instead.
All right, so this is actually one of the higher points per second charts in the D25 folder.
That's also because this song is so short.
But yeah, very short song. So they got to compress the difficulty in there somewhere. But a lot of shorter 210 BPM bursts, essentially. And some kind of awkward patterns.
Have we seen the actual reality of a monstrous crime? Or merely an illusion, the product of a tortured brain?
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
Got past the holds.
Yeah, like at least half of us hugged them when they showed up. What's up, Zavi? Oh. I hope you were clenching for that one.
I don't think that was it.
You did it!
Pretty close.
Next stage.
Ooh, that's a pretty big gap. Yeah, if he had that pass, then that would have been worth 4,000 and 125. But so he gets 2,400.
Yeah, I considered using it, but then I was like, even if I
the
fail,
strat that you were doing.
I might as well just not. I might as well.
Level 25. Level 24.
Well, we're playing the mint, not the 26. So
He will consider this a break. Really?
I mean, it pretty much is.
How much time? He's at 58 minutes. 2 hours, 2 minutes to go. So this is just a lot of 210 BPM run at the end. And an entirely inner six chart. So if you have good control, it's not too bad. But again, if runs are not your strong suit, then this can feel like one of the harder 24s. It all depends on your skill set, really. All right, going into the ending with its 4 parts. Each one getting slightly more difficult. But if you can just keep moving. One final bit. Yeah. I'm worried that if it gets too sticky for him, that would be much more difficult to do.
I don't think he hasn't really said anything about the stick, so I think it's he's pretty okay with where he's at right now.
Gave a thumbs up to his audience. Hopefully that's a good sign.
Already creeping up at 40,000 at the 1 hour mark.
Okay. What is his next choice going to be?
Something I won't agree with, I'm sure.
Final song.
Where's he going?
Final song of the credit, unless he does a shortcut.
A Sidela Wu, Sarah Bonde, Uranium. How
Aquarius.
does he feel about Uranium? I don't remember.
I think he finds it difficult just because of how twisty it is.
I want to see someone play Neo 24, to be honest.
I played Neo 24 in my mock set, And immediately after, I was like, why did I choose this?
I know it's hard. It's worth a lot though. The same thing
Yeah.
with all the Dreamcatcher songs. Like they're the highest like 24s,
Yeah.
but for a good reason though. They're all extremely hard.
Rip. Yeah. This is another good one for him. And this was one of our qualifier songs, so everyone's familiar with it.
You know, he has like the highest, like one of the highest scores on this.
Yeah, I
In the qualifier.
It's like basically the first half is sort of hold tech, and then
Dude.
the last half is just run.
I think the first half is so easy, and then the run's hard. It's definitely one of those things where it's like it really shows your skill sets.
Yeah, it really does.
Because the complaint is you either are bad at the run or good at the beginning, or good at the beginning or bad at the run.
Yeah,
It's
so
the same thing as the Morpheus, honestly.
it's a good testing chart in that sense, because you need to be good at both of those things to get a good score. And actually, I feel like the D21 has similar sort of hold stuff in the first half, and it's almost harder than the stuff that you see in the 24. It's just charted so awkwardly. But then you get this nice break in the middle before you listen to the sweet message.
I love this song. I'm very happy it got added to the game. The charts are really hard, but I think charts are good for what they are.
Cell calls this a 25, but when have you ever listened to a Cell opinion?
Never. I wouldn't even necessarily call this a break, but this is kind of like a semi like warm up into what you're gonna go into.
Yeah. And this is the finale. 16 measures of
Just
slowly increasing in difficulty. One side and then the other. And then finish off with some brackets.
damn, that was really clean.
You did it!
Oh, nice.
Game over!
Marvelous.
Ready, pump it up! New tunes. Difficulty zone double. Level 17. Level 23. Level 24.
Is he going back to 25s? He said, fuck that, I'm playing 24s. I think we're gonna see Yogg. So it seems like the average score that everyone's going to be trying to aim for is around 100K-ish so far. It's kind of hard to judge where everyone was going to be just because, again, the point inflation compared to the last Avalanche.
Yeah, but now that we've started to see scores from day one, we're getting a better sense of like where people might fall by the end of their set. So coming into Yogg D24, relaxing for this first half.
First half is really nothing. It's like an 18. And you get a good break too. But the end run is pretty mean.
Yeah, like honestly, the worst part about the end run is the little 30-second triplet that just throws off your entire rhythm. And that end run begins now.
I've always loved the fake out notes. I think that's so funny. Yeah, the good thing about the run though is like you just kind of chill on one side or the other, and it has a pretty smooth transition for the most part until you get to here where it gets just a lot harder.
Gets a little extra life from that hold. Will it be enough? Oh no.
Not enough though.
Well, definitely 875 though. At least.
You did it! Next stage.
Yeah, it's probably a combination of fatigue. Pads might be sticky again.
Definitely the heat.
Definitely the heat. It is. We haven't reached the peak temperature yet.
It's not okay. Well, for me, I'm used to heat. This isn't even bad, but I know for
yeah,
the
like Josh.
Canadians, this is probably excruciating for you guys.
Well, yeah, it's about probably 8 degrees Celsius warmer here. So we'll say about 15 Fahrenheit warmer here
Yeah, that's hot.
right now.
That's a big jump.
But Josh also comes from New Zealand, and it's usually hotter there than it is in Canada. So he's a little more used to the heat in that sense.
But even still, I remember when we picked him up
Level 26.
from the airport, we got out and he was just like, it is so hot here. So I think he's already adjusted to the Canada weather. But that don't matter. That doesn't stop him. I mean, this man's looking at 26s right now. Shell potentially.
Yeah, probably just looking at stuff that he can score.
The heat didn't pick up. It for my American viewers. It is about 80 degrees outside right now.
And for the rest of the world, it's about 27 Celsius. And that's just outside. In the garage.
No,
like,
it's really not that bad. My man's got 3 friends on him, and the garage. It's pretty windy right now too. So
300 Kelvin? Jesus. Yeah, Vancouver right now looks to be about 21 Celsius. So, you know, a slight difference. But yeah, I think it should reach about 30 Celsius, maybe 90 Fahrenheit for peak temperature today. In the garage, like, the heat sort of varies depending on how many people are in here, but we have 3 fans going. We have the garage door open with a screen on it, which is really helpful. And now Josh is going into the final run. Let's see if he can push through. Back and forth and back and forth. The changes that they made to this chart are just so rude.
I look good. That look really good. That should definitely be within the point range.
Very easy.
883
Close,
728.
but still good. And a nice calorie count.
Oh yeah. Hour and 11.
Next stage.
Yeah, 25 to 26 is a huge jump. And when you also consider that a lot of these 26s used to be easier, like it feels like that gap just got a whole lot wider.
Level 26.
Well, thankfully, you have
over.
stuff like Prima that came out to make that gap a little easier now.
Yeah, Prima and Hercules, I would say even Origami, like, are probably on the easier end of 26s, which is like sad to say because they're still very difficult. But like, you know, those three were all released during Phoenix, and before that, it was like you had Leather at the lower end, and then it was like, I don't know, Repentance, and then what? What comes next? Because they buffed so many of those charts.
Level 24. Level 26. Over.
And speaking of Repentance,
Yeah, this I figured as much. I like this song so good.
so Repentance is one of those rare charts, the rare 26s that didn't get changed.
It's still it was arguably an easier 26 too. Like this would be argued an entry level one too.
Yeah, I remember when the previews came out for this, like the difficulties weren't released right away, and a lot of people thought it might just be a 25.
Oh my god, that would have been funny. I just remember seeing the brackets jacks and just laughing. It was the first time we ever seen like
Jax
yeah.
at
Well,
that level.
I'm trying to
really.
think. When did this come out? This came out. Was this like after the brain power updates?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
this was among the largest updates in Double X, but like right at the end. I think this might have been the result of the April Fool's video that they released, where they were like sort of teasing us, and then everyone got mad, and then they were like, shit, we should actually release some content.
That was before that. I remember that because that's when Mope came out. I
Yeah,
just
so I think
remember
we got
though.
Mope, and we might have got this and Re-End. It was like all around the same time. Ultimatum as well. So yeah, like we got that final onslaught of new 25s and stuff in Double X. So he hit the big holds.
This is gonna be rough. He's really gotta
Gets
go
through the
in.
jacks.
You gotta go, bro. Get this.
Pop, 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 pop.
That's gonna be close. We gotta see. We just gotta see.
Will be close, but he hit the key parts.
Oh, it's not enough.
Oh man, a lot of misses.
Next stage.
Unlucky. I don't know where he's gonna head at this point. I want to believe that he's gonna go back down, but he could go up. All right, he's gonna take his 5 minutes, so we'll be back at 1:21. Just as a reminder, chat, if y'all are wondering how Tornado is doing currently on his set, you can use !scores. It has all the player information and it is updated live as well. It has the player schedule, every point values for the songs, and a little bit of a breakdown of how the scoring system works. And exclamation point rules also goes over that, as Rom has put in the chat as well. Yo, what up, Hurley? Thanks for the raid. Hope you all had a good stream. Thanks for joining us. We are currently watching Tornado. Just got done with his break and he's about to hop back into it right now. You're good.
Yeah. Merci beaucoup for the raid. Hope you're watching from France, if you're there.
New tunes, difficulty zone
All right,
double.
what's he going to
Level
choose?
17.
He's taken 2 breaks already, and he's an hour 21 and a half in. So, 1 break left. But he's really going to need to manage if he wants to survive that full 3 hours. So we'll probably start to see a lot more 23s and 24s now.
The reality with this Avalanche, for the points at least, is if you play a lower chart, so in the case of 23s for a lot of these players, you need to try to get like at least a double S or a triple S or something like that.
Old man grunting. Yeah, so now he's going into Get Up D23. 180 BPM, and definitely one of his stronger charts. If you were paying attention to his personal best score, you would have seen a UG there, and he even mentioned that in his title card at the start. Of course, we're in Avalanche conditions, so the UG is already out of the question, but...
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, the way the point systems in this Avalanche work too, if you're playing lower stuff, the only real way to get value out of it is to be double S, even double S plus. Otherwise, it's not really worth it. If you're trying to go for like the most points as possible, it's just way more valuable as a player to play higher end stuff. Even if you're not passing it, it's definitely more worth just at least getting the 875 threshold. So that's what it really comes down to, is how many high level charts are you going to be willing to play that you know you can get.
Giving a thumbs down. But he still triple A'd it, so not all bad.
Next stage.
Yeah, 1 million points for that.
Level 23. Difficulty zone double. Level 17.
And now choosing with his hands.
Pascalia D23. Anyone who sucks at this intro is bad. I'm just gonna call y'all out. This intro is easy.
Yeah, they changed the Star Command intro, but not this one. I can hear so many players griefing. So yeah, this will be still coming back from his break, so warming back up, really. 175 BPM, not too complicated until the ending, when it gets really twisty. And it really just it has a nice break in the middle. Well, right here. Just some fat holds to build
I'll
your
tell him
life
right now,
bar.
Kyle. Kyle says balls, Josh. Kyle says balls. No comment.
No comment.
Just kidding. He says thanks, Kyle. There's not really a lot that goes on too much that's like interesting here. There's just a lot of holds. It's pretty much just a giant build up for the final runs.
And also managing the sort of bounce gimmick, which they did not get rid of. Kyle, I think you meant to say balls 3.
He's gotta go.
Going into the final section.
Okay.
Going all in.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? Okay, well, I was concerned, but not so much anymore.
He decided to play the game.
Yeah, I knew you could do it.
Seattle got the AAA. Definitely worth.
Yeah, what gimmick?
Next
You're so right.
Level 23.
I think he's starting to feel the fatigue, but not fatigue. What the hell? He's starting to feel the fatigue, so I think he's like just trying to play in the 23s and just kind of break through to the rest of it.
Dan, everyone has rolled their eyes at you for that. Nobody knows what you're saying.
You speak nonsense, not the truth.
All right, over to Altail D23. Pump It Up original that also appears in at least one other rhythm game. And appeared before it appeared in Pump.
I'm honestly surprised people are playing this chart. I didn't think. I mean, I know they're playing it because it's a really good break song, but I didn't think even with the points that it was like so worth it for a lot of players.
Yeah, I think it's exactly because it's such a break. Like, after this run is over, and it's not even that long, then you get the entire rest of the song for a break. Yeah, breathing really helps. It might even keep you alive.
I mean, I agree, but you know, you could also play a 20 and say the same thing, but it's just,
The 20s aren't worth this many points, though.
yeah.
Yeah, like, honestly, you could take a break, or you could play like stage or D20, right?
Ultimately, I'm okay with it because I really like this song. Nope.
So therefore, it should be worth $1 million, right?
Next stage.
Super fantasy co-op.
See, we used to have 2 co-op charts. Headless Chicken, the quote-unquote D24, and Club Night, quote-unquote D25. But when they released the new mix, when they released Phoenix, they removed the triggers at the beginnings of those charts. So you could no longer trigger the like regular note skin. So like theoretically we could have kept them in the event, and you're really just forcing the players to be able to read the co-op note skin while playing it solo. But instead we just removed it, unfortunately. So Josh just told us that he developed a blister when we were walking around the airport on Wednesday, and it's really starting to hurt. So everyone pray for that airport blister.
Oh, we're halfway through the set. All right.
So going into Video Out C D23, another run chart. Known for its really long run, as Zach says. What else do you have to say about this, Zach? That's the end. That is the chart. One long-ass run. It's funny to him, he says, Kyle. All right, one final break before the last long run, as Zach puts it. Some bracket tech to close it out. And holds on to the light.
Yeah, I knew you could do it. Next stage. Level 23.
Okay, time for After 1,000 Years. 180 BPM, a lot of runs. So once again, a sort of comfortable chart for Josh, but maybe not so comfortable under these conditions.
Oh, we feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
All right, the final run, the most twisty of all of them. You'll notice he's manipulating a lot of what he can. Oh,
That's so unfortunate.
Ooh. That's close.
Okay.
Oh, clutch. KDLC.
Game over.
Yeah, we take those.
Pump it up.
After 1,000 years, like his age. Yep, exactly. You're so real. 1,000 plus. All right, he's just staring at us now. Dying. Yeah, you have an hour and 20 minutes left.
Just started. No, you're at 1 hour and 40 minutes right now. You have an hour and 20. Just to be clear.
My guy is breathing.
You feel the pain?
He is breathing.
New tunes. Level
How's the
17.
blister?
Level 24.
This blister's fine. It's gonna have to be. It's got another hour and 20.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how it is. Just keep going. So, scrolling through the D23s again, looking for something comfortable.
Trying to find whatever he can to not die and not have to move as much now.
Yeah, I imagine he doesn't want to take his third break yet, because then he'll have more than an hour to close out. So we go into Scorpion King, D23. A definite break for him. We'll see if he can lock into the timing window for the ending bracket hold nonsense.
So this chart's been played a lot, and this is definitely just one of those charts that we are going to probably see pretty frequently, along with Altel, because it's not a lot that goes on with it. The brackets aren't like super hard, and even though this part is kind of tricky and can be a little tiring if you're doing it legit, and the rest of it's really just a cakewalk because it's just a anchored brackets. You might have to move every once in a while, but
All right, here comes the ending.
I will say, even though this is easy, these holds will kill you, so you do actually have to accurately hit it relatively.
Yeah, and you also really want to find that timing window, because if you're streaming greats for the entire section, that can really tank your score.
His accuracy on this is really impressive, because you have to hit really late.
Yeah,
Nice.
no problem. It's like he's enjoying himself.
That's the way to go. Next stage.
That was an impressive run on that Scorpion King run. That's right, it's your boy Benji. It's your fellow function in the house. I'm sorry. Anyway, we got Josh killing it right here. This is like, seriously, these runs that he's been pulling off is amazing. Like, stuff that he's been hitting. Real good. And he is almost 2 hours in. And unfortunately, yeah, I don't know if the commentators here have already mentioned it, but yeah, he is unfortunately going through a big obstacle right now when it comes to a blister that he's having on one of his feet. Looks like we all prepared very well for this Avalanche in the best ways possible. Overexerting ourselves, playing too much, tiring ourselves out with other work, and walking for hours through an airport. This is how we prepare for Avalanche. Ain't that right, Adam?
Yeah, but we don't usually prepare by giving ourselves blisters and then playing. So when you have unexpected obstacles like that, it just adds to the challenge.
It's all part of the process, man. Yep. This Avalanche isn't ready for him at his full capacity. He wants to make the competition fair, you know? So
Exactly.
He's just
Yeah.
trying to give room for all of us to still do our stuff. But no, for real talk, yeah, playing through anything like that can be a serious challenge. So give him your energy, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna need it.
Well, he made it through arguably the hard part, the chart of this chart.
The chart of this chart. Yeah, that's accurate. It's literally just the intro. So as a person who gets blisters pretty frequently, it feels like, guess my feet are just adjusting to it. It really sucks. It's not fun. Like, there's a certain point to where like your toe or wherever that part, it starts to like just get really hot-ish. And that's typically the point where I'm like, okay, I need to call it. But if I was to play for like another hour, that thing is gonna get super big, and it is not fun. And it gets to a point to where if you keep playing, it just turns into just raw pain. So hopefully Tornado can get through the rest of his set before it gets any worse. Unfortunately, I'm not playing anymore. Rinsa is covering that spot now.
Next stage.
Jeff just wants to see more people play in bare feet.
Oh, I need to update the score for what happened.
Oh yeah, look at that SG on this chart.
Okay, seizure warning for y'all, because apparently Ben is sadistic, and this is a for real like genuine warning if you have epilepsy or get seizures really easy from flashing lights.
Yeah, do not look.
Don't watch this.
Audio only. Like you can see the butterfly flashing already. It doesn't get any better.
I will make you understand.
So there's not really a whole lot for me to say because I can't even see the notes half this time.
The first half is relatively straightforward, just a few little bursts of run here and there. But really, a lot of this first half is like bracket tech with holds. And then once you get this through this sort of blue-yellow hold tap monstrosity, then it's just straight runs with that are sort of intercepted by jumps in the end, if you can manage to see all of that. Damn, combos through that, no problem. And some people would say that this chart is easier than the D22 for this same song. A lot of people would say that, actually.
I'm one of those people. That 22 is hard.
Damn, you like the with all that inner four stuff, like you only know there are blues there because there aren't reds. Like you just cannot see them otherwise.
Wow, fantastic!
That was really impressive with how much you could not read that.
Yeah, I know he really likes that chart, so he's very familiar with it. So even if he couldn't read half of it, he was probably just relying on muscle memory.
Level 24.
Where is he going? Thinking about Trick Lash. Think he's gonna pick it, but I think his ass said no.
All right, scrolls over to Tricklash D23, one of the favorite charts. And you can see the Triple S Plus, so you know he's played it a couple times. He's aiming for double A plus right now.
That's some.
A man trapped in a web of fear has nowhere to run and no one to trust.
So if you watched him play the D25 earlier, the structure of this chart is relatively similar. Very bracket techy opening half, and then you start to see a few more runs in the last bit. Just a lot less complicated than the 25. So this first half is really good to focus on scoring because the patterns are not overly complicated.
Look at that footwork. Look at that form. Look at the Chad. All right, we're actually going to the run now.
Yep. Here's what makes this a 23. 220 BPM, but a lot more friendly than something like Shub D23. And of course he gets through it, no problem.
Easy.
Yes! Your skills are really amazing!
7, 8.
S plus, so that's better than the AA plus he said he was gonna get.
I don't know what he needs,
He looks like he's in pain.
Next stage.
All right, he's taking his break, so we'll be back at 1:59:40.
Pump it up! Hello, everyone! New tunes! Great song!
Are you really surprised, Kyle? You know him. You know who he is as a person. What does that say, Dan? Hang? Hang? What does that mean?
I sure can read this.
Yeah, actually, try not to associate yourself with him, I guess. He's so close. He almost got it. He was so close to 5 combo. Oh, man. Oh, he actually got there. Well, he almost made it to 6. Wow. Yeah, world first PG on the way. All right, time for the fun leather part. Damn. He almost got triple digit combo.
and then you can get life back from this.
We have one casualty, the hat. World first PG, let's fucking go. Should have got one more miss though.
He hit half the notes. All right, well, after that intermission,
New team. Difficulty zone. Level 17. Level 20. Level 23.
where he looking? He going to Super Capriccio.
Well, I mean, Josh specifically requested that Cell be here to flop on the pads for his last break. So, really, he asked for it.
Josh also, during the break, put on some anti-friction cream that I have that should help with the blister a little. And he also put on an extra pair of socks, so that should help pad a lot.
Yeah, if you look at his feet, you can definitely see on the right foot the black on gray. On the left foot, it's like light gray on slightly darker gray.
The schedule of the players is on exclamation point scores, and it will be on the total rankings. The schedule is on the left-hand side. But we currently have KK Walker, who is going to be playing after Tornado here.
So coming back from his break with Distressumate D23, old D24. This one will be comfortable for him for sure. As comfortable as it can be with a blister, I guess. And now we come into the final run.
I can definitely tell it is bothering him because I don't think that he would follow this on any normal circumstance.
Yo! I knew you could do it!
Yeah, he's got 57 minutes
Next stage.
to manage the feet, the heat,
in the
The
sleep.
towel. But what is he going to follow that up with? You can see that he has a triple S plus on that chart normally, so you know it's a good one for him. But certainly for an event like this, when you're throwing yourself at anything you can for 3 hours, you can't always expect to be performing your best. And with that in mind, where does he go next? Currently shopping the D23s. And lands on Super Capriccio. So lower BPM, but bit of a tiring chart because there isn't much of a break in here. So he's just closing out this last Inner Six run, and now this is really the only break you get in the chart. Still some short runs, but they're punctuated by some holds. So, like, you know, if you're coming at this chart fresh and you've warmed up for it, it's not too bad. When you're 2 hours and 5 minutes into a 3-hour set and you have a blister and it's hot, maybe a little more difficult to do. Especially with all of these twists that come up in this final section.
Yeah, these twists are pretty mean.
Still alive, still has a chance to build up his life before the final run. And he holds it.
Very clean and can get pretty rude. So the fact that he combo all that is really good.
Yeah, put in some noticeable effort to hold on to that life at the end. And then he was looking at his hands at the end. I wonder if those are starting to like blister or callus or anything.
He's got another 55 minutes. Got to hold on. I think it would be safe to say that he's not going to be playing anything above a 24 at this point.
Difficulty zone double. Level 22.
We've got Tony the Waterman coming in. We competitors really appreciate our pit crew when we can just turn around and like hold our water bottle out and someone knows exactly what we need. Because oftentimes you don't even want to spend the energy saying words. So he's coming up on Windmill D23. I think just trying to ride out the rest of the set. He says his hands are hurting so bad. So nothing too complicated so far, but now we come up to the fun little bracket rolls. Can be hard to get the timing on these. And you also want to make sure to hit the holds in between because they're worth a lot of combo. Gets through it no problem though. And he does the walk across. I hope you appreciate that, Kyle.
That's the way to go. Next stage.
Double massage gun. We have 2 massage guns in rotation now. So Josh has chosen Point Break D23, which was added to the game in the most recent update.
This is a sight read for him too. Fun fact.
Is it actually a sight read? Damn.
Well, he said he's never played it before, so
Yeah, I know he's seen the chart, but yeah, first time playing it. And like it's very much in his wheelhouse. So I'm sure when he plays it in a real set, he'll probably triple S plus it, no problem. And yeah, Snill, you say you can't get rid of this chart. I can't get rid of this song. I hate this song
I hate this
so
song,
much.
Too. Thank God. Amen, brother. Amen.
When the fucking voice comes in, it sounds like a cat in heat, and I cannot unhear that.
Wow! New record!
So he gets a AAA plus. Still going strong, still standing.
Next
Has
stage.
about 46 and a half minutes to go.
I think his objective at this point is to probably get 75.
I think
I
his
do-
objective is to survive.
I'm talking about point goals. I know his objective is just get through at this point for his personal sake. I would like for him to get to 75, but we'll see what happens. It's
Yeah,
very hard
maybe
to
we
say.
could push him to 80 when he gets closer. We'll see.
I have to see. I don't think he's like I mentioned earlier. I don't really think he's definitely not playing anything above a 24. But I don't even think he's going to be playing a 24 at this point.
Yeah, I'm curious to see actually what he ends with.
Well, that's not true. He could play slam.
Okay, 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I see a lot of Point Break talk because everyone's like, oh, it's too easy to be a 23. And then Utopia, everyone's like, they either think Utopia is way overrated or they cannot understand the gimmick at all.
I haven't played it yet, but it looks so easy.
It is. Like, it was a 22. The D22 was a 22 when it was still a mission that had the strange, like, red, yellow, blue gimmick and the mines in between everything. When you take all of that out and just have the stutter but keep the patterns the same, it is really simple. Disrespect.
How are these guys in my event? Can't read slowdowns.
Watch him PG the rest of the chart.
Yeah, this used to be a slowdown
Yeah, this used to be a slowdown.
match.
Sort of a compression and then it expands. All right, coming into the final run. Mostly straightforward, and then we get a few more twists here in this, the outro of this run. And then, of course, we add some brackets. Yeah, handles that quite well.
You did it! Game over! Then pump it up! Green card, I'm hot.
Green card.
New team, online, difficulty zone level 17. Level 23.
Yeah, honestly, actually, I didn't even think about that. If he actually did that intro legit, that would have gotten a AAA.
Okay, so he's shopping. Shops on over to Travel to Future. Basically, 2 long runs and then a bracket ending. Ambitious, you think? Well, I don't know. It takes some, but it's 160. A lot slower than a lot of the stuff that he's been playing. But what a banger of a song.
I think this and Stardust is about like on par in terms of like stamina.
Yeah. Yeah, this has more run than Stardust, but Stardust is a little faster. But yeah, like, given that he's staying in the D23 folder right now, this is giving you a sense of what he might think is more of a break or is a little easier in the state that he is in. So, like, just really some very nice, straightforward runs in this intro. But he has one more quad to hit. Will he hit it? Easy.
All right, picking up, going into the second run. Starts off with a very strong combo, but we're going to like the stretch tippies.
Yeah, and this run a lot trickier because you have to go a little wider and reach out to the outsides. So yeah, it's very easy to get tripped up in the patterns, and there are also little holds mixed in. So you
Those holds are
have
worth
to
a
hold
lot
for long
too.
enough. And the final bracket. Wow. Life bar doesn't even
That was
move.
really clean. Wow.
Ambitious, you said.
Wow, fantastic!
No problem.
Next stage.
Easy X.
That was worth just as much as him playing Stardust and Windmill combined. That's kind of funny.
Damn, okay. 2,100 points right there. I would say maybe not a lot.
Level 23.
Yeah, this is a natural choice for him. Yeah, this is.
Did he actually hit that?
Yeah, he hit it in like
The
what I would say
weirdest
is a
way
weird
possible. Yeah. I didn't think he was going to like combo that. What the
Oh,
fuck?
and he hit the next
Okay.
one. Damn.
I've
Bro
never
is
seen anybody
gaming.
hit it like that.
So coming into crossover, crossover, D23. One of those fun little charts from Prime 2. And really the beginning of like the whole cross invasion, you could say. So very like simplistic first half, like a few tricky parts here and there, but like nothing overly complicated. And then a final run at the end that starts with the worst fucking transition ever. Like the run itself is not bad, but you transition into it so awfully that like it feels so much harder than it actually is. All right, here comes another burst. Third time, not the charm. Nobody knows how to hit that.
Yeah, that intro transition to this run is so garbage.
Like, I'm surprised they didn't rechart it, honestly.
Me too. Regardless, he fucking killed this run.
Yeah,
Hit pretty much everything. Very little misses and stuff like that. That looks super
Nice.
clean. I would imagine that's a double S. Oh, just shy.
Ooh. That combo, though. Yeah, 2 hours, 24 minutes in, and he's still pulling off a score like that on a chart like that.
Yeah, 75K is definitely possible for him.
So that gave him 2,250 points and puts him at 69,230.
We're 10, or not 10. How many points do we need?
460?
He needs to go play a 20 right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what 20, but
A couple 20s.
just one.
Okay, scrolling through this 23 folder again. Looking at all of the things he doesn't want to play. Finding something he does. Broken Karma. Ooh. Makes sense for his skill set. But damn, this shit's tiring.
Almost a super funny number. Almost. Damn. Very, very,
Yeah.
very clean.
Puts all sort of effort in to that ending.
Yeah, I knew you could do it.
Still AAA, high grade count, but I would say that's due to fatigue more than anything.
Next stage.
think it's the first time that we're singing this song. Yeah, Drifty played it. First time seeing the 23.
Yeah, so we're going into CD23. We saw Greg play this earlier in his set. And now Josh is going for it. Overall, pretty simple. You just don't want to drop any of these holds because they have a lot of combo on each of them. But yeah, great break chart at this point.
The only difficulty of this chart is when it's at the end with the whole tech that kind of throws in. They even sell it's not at all, but in the core 23. Nice.
Yeah, nicely done. No goods, no bads.
Next stage.
Clean attempt, for sure.
Level 23.
No goods or bad. It's so funny.
Difficulty zone double. Level 15.
Where's the man headed?
Level 23.
Back to the 23 folder. There was a real break.
I bet he scrolled over this and was like, oh my god, yes, another free 23.
Italian fortune flower. So, not a whole lot happens on this chart in terms of difficulty. All the difficult sections are all on one side of the pad. So, where it gets hard, you're chilling just like on the right or the left. So, even if, with insane as it looks, the movement and the stamina required for it isn't bad. There's only one part at the very last, the third run, that gets kind of a little crazy for a second, but besides that, the rest of it's pretty much a cakewalk. Very entry-friendly 23.
Yeah, very good if speed is your strong suit. Kyle says hardest 23 in the game, but I think he forgot to specify S23.
True, actually. But S23 is hard.
That's a lie, and you know it.
Nice.
Passes it.
Double
Without issue.
S? Question mark? Maybe not. Good
Way to
play.
go!
Ooh, 6'9". Makes an appearance.
So he's gonna get 75,000.
Yeah, who put a single run in my double chart?
Game over! They pump it up! New team
Yeah.
online matching. Level
I don't know about
23.
that. I think 80 would be the next goal. Obviously, to just live. I would love for him to play something dumb crap like Amorpha T, even though I know he's not going to. I know.
Okay, Dream to Nightmare, D23. Overall, not too bad of a chart, but I think the part that he will fear the most will be the splits.
This chart's just very technical. And all these patterns aren't necessarily hard, but with just the speed and then all the patterns that before it that get you set up for it, doesn't really flow super well.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the song, like it's very choppy in a lot of places. So, well, I mean, it was designed to be gimmicky in the groove.
It also, yeah, it was an OG
So-
ITG song.
And of course, they removed like all of the gimmicks from this chart. Now, I wish that we could have Epileptic Crisis in here. All right, here comes the split part.
I hope you're flexible, ladies and gentlemen, because you got to be in order to hit this stream. There we go. He makes it through. Health bar didn't drop one bit. Very good, very good. As far as D23s go, this one, that's really the most X factor there is to this one. Overall, it's pretty tame, pretty light bracket tech to it. It's honestly a pretty fun chart overall, I'd say. But yeah, it's just if you, depends on how well you can do that split stream. That's about it.
Yeah, and like if you're also familiar with the D22, like it's not too different from that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So, like if you've been passing 22s and then move up to 23s, this is a good one for entry level.
Also, I don't know if it was already mentioned, but yeah, once upon a time this was rated in D24. So for many people, this was the obligatory. Oh my God, I passed my first D24. So, yeah. But no worries. We take whatever victories we can get. right, my man is hovering
Okay.
over Can. Orpheus in the party mix D23. If anything, this truck's mainly just fast.
Just fast.
Just
Yep.
fast.
Some hold tap tech and then some runs.
Yeah.
And then the windmill at the end.
Yeah. And unlike Windmill, though, instead of hitting it on 12s, this one you do have to hit on 16s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it might be easier in that sense. Easier to time anyway.
Yeah. But either way, it's still deceptively tiring because on all of those hold taps that we're about to see, unless he's very comfortable with cheating the reds and blues, he is going to be doing a lot of swinging motion. So let's see how he takes it on.
Yeah. Can we get people dancing in the background again? Who wants to be the power? You're not really gonna see it on the cam.
Yep, classic pump practice is to give a way of giving the player your energy during this song is to do the same dance that the background is doing. we got some of our audience trying to show their support. We love to see it. So all this is going in real clean so far. Let's see how he nails the windmill drill. Here we go. Ooh. Health bar didn't flinch one bit. That was very clean.
Yeah, no issues there.
Absolutely. Just
Some of
make
the
sure
most awkward bracket triples to end it.
Yep. That was very good performance on that track. Love to see it.
Yeah, I knew you could do it.
Yep. Same level as the shortcut D23.
How does that make you feel, Adam?
Well, I don't care because I don't enjoy playing either of the
Quite
charts.
frankly, I'm bad at both. Yes, agree. No worries, no worries. One thing's for sure. I mean, I don't know how you'll take this take, but I think the hardest out of the Can shorts is the D19.
Oh God, no! The D19 is fun and easy.
No, not fun. Perhaps if you're insane, but easy. No way, man. I would legit rather do the D25 or the D23 over the D19. What?
The D19, you either run in a circle or you figure out a way to not have to run in a circle.
Or you just die. Oh man.
Okay.
It's the 1 foot chart, the 19.
Here's the reason why that chart gives me so much PTSD. It's because during the first year of Double X, I was strictly no barring.
Oh,
So
yeah.
imagine no barring.
Okay,
D19.
makes sense.
Yeah, there was no hope. There was absolutely no hope. But luckily for our players here, bar is allowed at Avalanche for now.
Yeah, we're not doing no bar Avalanche yet.
We'll get there eventually. ladies and
Don't
gentlemen.
worry, Kyle. I'm just defending
No,
Boycon.
I believe. One day.
Hey, we have to keep upping the difficulty of this event somehow.
Yeah, that's true. One day, we're going to have to up the meta. We're going to have to up the ante of this tournament.
One day we'll be back to 4 hours and no bar.
4 hours of no bar D20. There we go. I like it.
Yeah, I hope you have strong 4 balance.
But anyway, here, back to the chart. Yeah, so Clematis Rhapsodia. I know this has been played at least once. Has anyone else played this one yet?
Yeah, Greg played this.
Greg did play. Okay, excellent.
And
yeah, this is a... Yeah.
Who played it yesterday?
Who did?
Who played it yesterday?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, of course.
But either way, yeah. So this chart overall is kind of easy going because, like, for the most part, it's just what you're seeing here before you now. It's like light bracket tech into like just a pretty slow run, all things considered. But that ending does get a little bit complex, and it ups the ante because a lot of the taps will have holds hidden behind them, and if you miss any of them, it'll tank your health bar in an instant.
Yeah, so right now this is basically all 130 BPM, I think. And then we get some what is essentially 195 BPM 16ths, although with how the time signature of the song goes, it's I think a 24th run or
I
something,
believe that is correct. Yeah.
or a 12th run, I guess, at 260.
And because of that discrepancy, it can be a little bit awkward to time, a little disorientating, just because it doesn't necessarily match the song all that well. But Josh is unfazed, very good.
Just gotta hold it together for these bracket rolls, but he does.
You did it!
Your did it.
We blame Jev for this score and the lack of the AAA.
Next
Yeah, so a
stage.
Roberto is when you flag something, and now a Jev is when you get just below the next grade.
For a lot of players, that's a story of their lives, myself included.
Yep. Forever cursed.
Whatever. This game is a curse.
Level 23.
We carry the curse of the upon us.
Yeah, and the curse doesn't even live within one cap, it just follows you around. Okay, what's next?
So, I do believe this will be. I think this will be, yeah, that was his 20th D23 in a row. So
Wow.
he is going strong, and he has passed all of them to his credit out of the 23s that he's played. But I mean, in order to really get up those high points, it might be worth trying to push him to the D24 folder. He is going up into his last
Wow.
13
Wedding
minutes
crashes.
at this point. But I mean, hey, as far as 23s go, this is going to get him a lot of points because this chart is very stamina intensive.
Yeah,
see how he
it's
can
funny that this used to be a 22, and yet it's
Oh, yeah,
still like
absolutely.
worth a lot of points in this 23 folder.
we did our best to rate all the hard 22s that should be 23s as though they were 23s. So, yep.
Yeah, I think it's about 18 measures at the end. It like doesn't even, the run doesn't even start when you think it should. It just starts and then doesn't stop. Like, what was Fafem's thinking? This was still his era of like not the best charting. He made choices.
Of just him thinking like, what do I want to put the rest of the players through today?
Yeah, what do
In
I
this
want to
update.
play?
And then the rest of us just have to deal with it.
Yeah, these funny little like Banya transitions on the holds are cool. I like how they flow with the music.
Yeah, that one's very cool. Yeah.
But yeah, like the beginning of this chart is really just warming you up for the hell. Like, there's a little bracket tech here and there.
And even this part, it goes into these triplets that are even these triplets are uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Some of them will
there's
make
a lot
you
of pad
move really
movement.
far.
And now the final run starts.
Yeah, there it goes.
Like-
It already started when you least expect it. Yeah, get comfortable because this is going to be the rest of the song like this. Every time I see this chart, it's like, why was this a 22, man?
Yeah, at 165 BPM, no less. Oh, yeah.
Clutches it out.
He was not taken out by the dragon.
He what?
He was not taken out by the dragon.
No, he was not. This man, wedding went off without a hitch.
You did it!
Jev, Jev,
New record!
let the man play, man. Let him breathe.
Let him
God
have some
damn.
points.
That was literally two 949s and 600s in a row. fucked up, man.
That's pretty normal.
Next
I'm
stage.
gonna fucking. All right, are you ready to see the third AA plus in a row?
Josh, you got 10 minutes.
Level 23.
Letting our man know that he's got 10 minutes, and if he's got anything, any pocket picks, anything else he wants to throw at us, then now is the time for the final push. Looks like we will be revisiting Repentance. Yep. This time around, the D23. And as far as I remember, this D23 isn't too bad, right? Should be easy points for our guy, Josh. Let's see how he handles it.
Yeah, it's like largely the same structure as the 26, and then the ending is where it differs. But the ending has a lot of weird stuff, like jump, step, jump, and the jumps usually aren't bracketable. Some bracket rolls. Yeah. It's tricky.
Well, quite honestly, I don't remember this chart super well, so I'm paying attention myself to be reminded of how it is.
Yeah, tricky to score. Thanks for the subscription, Normal Raptor.
This whole first half of the song is primarily just, other than the bracket tech, it's just a lot of really short triplets that kind of just come out of nowhere.
And then we have these little bursts of run with little twists in them, some kind of M run patterns. This is where the 26 would have like 24ths mixed in. But in this chart, that's just essentially 180 BPM.
I believe that tempo is the same for the 26 as well. I think it's just a harder pattern, right? It's a much more twisty.
No, it speeds up slightly in the
In the
26.
beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Ooh.
I don't know, it's hard to tell.
Ooh.
But yeah, this is where things get really weird. Yeah, as Adam said, we got our just jumps interlaced with eighth notes and stuff.
And like the patterns, it's just so awkward. This is very similar to the 26 with the little drills.
And the jumps that really throw a wrench in things. Dude, he nails the windmill drill. Jesus. All right. All right, let's hope that one hold that he missed in the middle of it doesn't do too much damage. Hopefully it's still
know.
worth some points.
That life bar dropped so quickly and then shot back up.
Okay.
Okay.
Still points.
69 in the kcals though.
Hell yeah.
6.5 minutes.
Game over. Wrap it up. New team difficulty so level 17. Level 20, level 23.
All right. The man's got a pattern, sticking with D23s, and hey, as long as he keeps going, it'll keep working.
He scrolled over to that 26 folder briefly. I wonder if he's thinking about his last song.
So final fights, last push. It would be super cool to see. So let's see. All right.
Scrolls over to Infinity. Okay. Another former D24.
Yeah, that's true.
But look at that score, triple S.
That's okay. That's actually pretty nuts. I didn't even. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. That didn't hit me for a sec. This is an extremely hard song to score on, and you'll absolutely see why. Like the first, it's got some pretty strenuous runs. Like in the first 2/3, But that last third is just where things get really weird. And the final bracket run, it is very difficult to. That's really the biggest bar the biggest wall that prevents people from passing.
Yeah,
this
and
chart.
I think for the time, you didn't really see bracket runs like that in a lot of charts.
This was a super unique chart in Prime 2. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're starting to see that a lot more often. So now I think charts like this, in a sense, become more accessible because you're used to that kind of thing.
Now that we have that exposure, they're fun when you know how to do them, and now we have the means to learn how to do them. But
Exactly.
Yeah, when this came out, there's a reason why people did think it was a 24 at first. But
Yeah, now we don't have to grind this chart to learn that kind of thing.
true. And if our man Josh does pass this song, he will have broken 80K. Yep. So regardless, our man is on the board. And even the foot placement in this part is actually a lot more awkward than it looks, having to switch your position like that so suddenly. Also, of course, shout out to Cosmograph, Grace in our game, pump it up with his wonderful music. Yeah, these runs right here, they're short, but they are a bit twisty.
Yeah. And
But
we'll-
luckily, all the breaks that happen in between, they do give you a chance to breathe. And
just gotta get
makes
to the
it
hole.
excellent.
Yeah,
And
build
this
that
hole-
life back up.
Yep, exactly.
One more
Alright.
push.
And this is where things get really hectic right here. He's holding onto his combo. He makes excellent closing of that chart. But yeah, as you can see, it's always cutting it close. Like even people that are like more comfortable with that are comfortable with that chart, it's still a coin toss at that point.
Yeah. Double A plus, nice.
That
At least
is.
it wasn't 924.
Next stage.
Josh has broken 80K.
Two and a half minutes.
Do a shortcut and then start another song, or time it out and do one last song.
Level 23.
Let's see what he chooses with the little time that he's got left.
Difficulty zone double. Level 17. Level 23.
Alright, looks like we're still chilling in the D23 floor. All good. Points is points. And all of our spectators here are giving him their best, their best support.
So it looks like we'll see Helix D23 for his final selection. Also released in this most recent update.
This is a really good job.
Yeah, this chart's so good. And thankfully, this song finally got a harder chart because previously the hardest was S19, D19.
The S19 is nuts for this chart, man. It kills me, man. But yep, this is one that came out from Prime 2 in the cross folder, and it's yeah.
Strong, Josh. Let's go.
For its type of song and its atmosphere, yeah, it's a very cool song, very cool. And yep, with the timer, it looks like this will be Tornado's final song of his Avalanche set.
Yeah.
And dude, this man, yeah, he went in. So we love
Yeah.
to see the push.
He's been fighting a blister for more than half of it, so
That's also Jesus, man. Yeah, that's
the fact that he just like hasn't caved is really a testament to his willpower.
that basically adds a number of difficulties to everything he's doing, man.
Yeah, this is actually Helix D28.
Yeah.
So quite a bit of bracket tech, and we'll see a few more like runs.
That jump
Shortly.
section is a little awkward, yeah. But yeah, if you know what you're doing, you just gotta really pay attention to get it on time.
Yeah,
Ooh, clean run there.
yeah, very clean. So we have this bracket section that's almost reminiscent of like Skeptic D25.
That's a really good comparison. Yeah. But this part, like with these triplets like that, we don't see that very often. I think the only thing that comes to mind is Re-End of Dreams D25.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see it in, you know, not a D25.
Yeah. And then like a slightly wider run there, you have to reach out to those blues.
Dude, he's killing
Thankfully
this,
that
man.
ends with a hold and not a tap. And then one final run before we get into a bunch of brackets.
Yeah, it is really hard to hit all that stuff accurately, but with this overall score, this man knows that this is his last song and he is making it count. About to close it out right now.
It's like this is his first song.
Jeez, exactly. Yeah.
No problem. Wow, upscores it too. Like
Wow! New record!
that's a really good breakdown on that.
Next stage. Level 23.
Whenever you're ready, Josh, yeah, go ahead and take a breather for a sec, and then, yeah, we'll go ahead and get ready for your interview. Congratulations on your Avalanche 7 set, man. You ended with 83,344 points. Here we've got USA giving Tornado a little bit of post-Avalanche set counsel with regard to what ideal food you should be eating. Because, by pushing your body to this kind of physical limit, it puts you in a pretty delicate state, and you got to be careful with what you do thereafter. So yeah. Yep, Anthony. It's pretty good. Let's see. Problems there. Yeah. Did a lot of 23s, but hey, you did pretty good on most of them. Yeah.
What are his total songs? He only took 2 breaks. That's good.
Song type played.
31, 41.
I mean, honestly, I'm just going to do, yeah, so he did 47.
47.
47, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What the?
Who's that?
What the? Not a bar? Let me get that boy. Oh, Evan. How was the food last?
All right, stand by, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get ready for Tornado's interview and prepare some other stuff behind the scenes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
be terrible, honestly.
Terrible. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. Let's go. That's standard for Avalanche contenders. Love to hear it. So, what was going through your mind during your set?
Oh my God, I still have an hour left.
Again, very relatable and consistent for the Avalanche experience. Yep. So, what did you do in order to prepare for this one, or like what were things looking like leading up to your session?
I was playing pretty frequently with Greg and Adam. Just every other day, we'd play with 50 seconds on the timer and just play as we normally do. Just get used to that short timer.
Used to the setting.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right. I see. Well, I mean, looks like it paid off because like it seemed like you were running pretty well with the cadence of the plays, and it was very good. And yeah, you've got some pretty insane scores on those D23s, man. Like everyone was marveling at like your personal best on the stuff that you've gotten. So we love to see it. And of course, yeah, when fighting for during Avalanche, doing all this stuff in those extreme conditions, you were still able to whip out some amazing scores, man. It was awesome to see.
I tried as hard as I could on Helix.
Dude, yeah, we could
the
tell,
best
man.
out of me.
That was awesome. It was great to see. So yeah, so overall, like, just what or well, let's see. Well, here. First of all, what do you want to say to your fans? What do you want to say to the people that have been supporting you in the chat?
Thank you, Kyle, for giving me that thumbs up. That was really nice. I tried my best doing that on Windmill. Got the extra 3 beds just for you.
I see. Excellent. So, how would you compare this Avalanche to? Because you competed in Avalanche 6 as well, correct? So, what were some like lessons that you learned from the last one, and were you able to apply them to this one, or just how would you compare the two experiences?
I was trying, but just my feet being really sore and not quite being used to tape on the bars yet.
Oh, I
Really-
see.
Really ended up hurting my hands.
Yeah, the difference of the tape for different bars and different people's setups. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a topic of discussion amongst arcade owners or machine owners. So yeah, and yeah, that is definitely something that will be different. I know some players they resort to gloves to like kind of give a little bit of consistency to that. So yeah, but I mean, I guess that's something that you've now learned from this one as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to get used to it if I want to come back.
I see it, and we would love to see you back,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Because yeah, you put on a show for us, and we definitely want more. One more question. So, what's your plan now in terms of Pump? Are you interested in competing in Avalanche again, or what are your next goals going forward?
I think I'd love to give it a go again. Yeah, I think for the future, I'll obviously, like I said earlier, try to get used to the tape on the bars, but yeah, just play more, try to get some mock hits in, because I didn't really get much time to
Got it.
do that.
Oh wait, here. Could you also give a little bit more details on your what's wrong with your foot, man?
Yeah, I was just, I was walking through the airport for several hours before I even got here, and I had a blister on my foot, and my the first thing I thought of was, I really hope this does not last to my set, and it did.
Yeah, so Adam and I, we were saying as commentators, like that basically adds a whole level of difficulty to every song that you do. And like, dude, that's not even a joke. That kind of condition, having to fight through that, it is such, it's like having to like do the mind game of trying to ignore it and focus on the game. That stuff is not easy. So the fact that you pushed through and didn't let that stop you, you did your full term, man, your full 3 hours. You did it, man. So yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tornado. Josh, you did great. There's Avalanche 7 seconds. And stay tuned. We are going to go ahead and prepare for our next contender, KK Walker, Kevin Kamikoa. So we're going to go ahead and get that set up. So please stay tuned. Let's see. Oh yeah. Also, one more thing. Let's see. How do we... for a real quick breakdown of Tornado's set. So yeah, his total songs played, he managed to get through 47 total songs. Average difficulty was about 23, 23.67 to be exact. He did push up on some D26s. That was awesome to see. And his most commonly played difficulty was level D23. Total of 30 out of his 47 songs. All right. And that will be the conclusion of Tornado set. Let's go ahead and get ready for the next one. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.